Euh, vous arrivez à me comprendre? Je suis en Inde, in India. I'm in India right now, yeah.
Merci.
Okay.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Oh. Comment ça va?
Ça va super bien. Et vous? Les gens sont en train de venir, donc on va commencer dans 5 minutes. Si c'est... Bon. Et vous, vous êtes où en ce moment?
J'ai un chat qui aime rester devant la caméra.
Devant la caméra, oui, oui, je vois, oui. J'adore les chats.
We have this discussion about him sitting here. He pays no attention.
All right, yeah, I can see. So, we are still... We'll wait for 2 more minutes and then let's get started.
This is Celeste. I'm not familiar with this Microsoft meeting. I'm familiar with Zoom. I don't I don't know how you have your camera on. I don't know. I don't even see my initials in the circle at the bottom. So if I'm doing something wrong, you got to let me know.
Yeah, sure. Actually, the only challenge with Microsoft Zoom is like, it with the basic version, it allows only 40 minutes. That's how So the experience become like, not so great. And with Google Meet, it allows only 100 people. So in this time, there was more than 100 registration. So that's the main reason why I chose the Microsoft Teams this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I apologize in case if the experience is not so great, but
oh yeah, no, pas de problem. I just want to let you know that I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
Similarly, me, I don't know if you can see me if I'm here. I'm Ernestine.
I love your hat, black color. Yeah.
I'm a real beginner in French, and this is the first time I've been on this program, this meeting, but really a beginner.
Yeah, sure. So the intent is like, in French, there are many tense which confuse people. So this is the first series, and we are going to cover, I'm planning every Tuesday at the same time. So let's see, like how it goes, and then you can share your feedback as well, like, in case if you have some other preference in terms of timing, because right now in India it is 5 p.m. and I believe in Europe it will be your lunch time, right?
Yeah, and on Aussie Tat Uni, il est très tôt, il est 6h30. So it's petit déjeuner time.
C'est le petit déjeuner. Qu'est-ce que vous allez manger? Un croissant? Est-ce que vous arrivez à trouver des croissants?
No, je bois le café.
Ah, le café, oui.
Yeah.
Le café au lait?
I am on the West Coast.
Café, similar yogurt, no?
Oui.
No, yogurt is something else, right? Coffee is something like coffee is a hot drink, right? I mean,
not coffee.
No, kefir.
Kefir, all right.
Yes.
Okay.
Kefir.
Oui.
Oh, okay.
Je fais le kefir. Je fais. I make it myself.
All right. That sounds interesting. Yeah. I like cooking, but unfortunately, my wife does not allow because I burn everything. So that is So yeah,
Do you
let's get.
clean up the kitchen? That's the question.
Sorry.
Do you clean up the kitchen properly?
And during the lockdown, I was the man in the kitchen because I had to do the washing. We don't have in India, manpower is not expensive. So yeah, everyone has got a maid at home. They do house cleaning. So, but in the lockdown, it was tough for us, because we had to do everything by our hand, mopping, washing everything at home, everything. So that was a nice experience. So yeah, let's get started. So thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining this event. Uh, will go. I've started sharing my screen. So my name is Murtaza. I am from basically I'm an Indian, but born and brought up in Madagascar. Madagascar is an island in Ocean Indian, and they speak French. Their first official language is French. And I came to India 12 years ago, where I work here, and French being French language being is my passion. So I had written a book on that. The book name is The French Fluency Formula. So initially it started, when I was helping Indian people to learn and to polish their French language. So that how it came. So as you may know, a French language has many tense. Uh, uh, I've shared my screen. Are you able to see it?
Yes, oui.
All right. Wait. Yeah. So should I speak in English or in French? What do you prefer?
French.
French. OK. Donc, en français, il y a plusieurs temps de conjugaison. On va commencer aujourd'hui par le temps présent. Juste là, en ce moment, je suis en train de vous montrer le manuscrit de mon livre. Donc là, juste pour vous montrer que chaque mardi, on va organiser ce genre d'événement et on va faire la conjugaison de chaque temps tous les mardis. D'accord? Donc aujourd'hui, on va commencer par le temps présent.
Sorry, Mortaza. I'm a total beginner, so I don't understand French as you're speaking it. So just a little couple of lines in English would be really appreciated.
Yes, Mr. David. I'll try to switch in between French and English, so people will be able to follow. All right.
Thank you.
Sure. Most welcome. Yeah. So what I was telling guys, so French language has many tense. It depends on the mood and the infinitive. So we are going to cover all these in all this the upcoming series. So I was telling in the starting, say this event is going to happen every Tuesday at the same times, and I hope to see everyone following this. So French has 3 verbs group. Anyone can tell me what is a verb in a sentence?
An action. It's an action
Okay.
word.
Which the verbs is the shows the action on that given sentence, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, how to recognize a verb in French? A sentence is made of subject plus verb plus object. That is a basic sentence. All right. So how to recognize a verb?
It's after the subject, or it could be before if you're asking a question.
And
All
the
right.
endings.
Usually, it's not always at the ending, but depending on the verb or on the sentence, like structure, it is either at the starting or after the subject.
I meant the end, the spelling of the verb, the
Endings.
final letters
Ending.
Right.
will help you know if that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
And it doesn't have an article preceding it. Well, no,
Yeah.
that's wrong. That's wrong because it could be reflexive and whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like there are many type of sentence structure. So today we are not going to cover all the sentence structure because this is going to be maybe another series of grammar which we are going maybe cover next time. Our main focus for this series are on the verb tense. All right. So en français, il y a trois groupes de verbes. Il y a le premier groupe, le deuxième groupe et le troisième groupe. I'll repeat in English. In French, we have three categories of verb. Like we have a first group, second group, third group. So the next question would be how to identify those. All right, French people have made that rule that verb are categorized into three groups. First, the name of that group itself is first group, second group, and third group. All right. Now, to identify those, which is the first group and second group, usually the first group verb, they all, I am right now showing the manuscript of my book. So it becomes easier for me to explain. Sorry, there are some more people coming, so I get some notification. So it gets easier for me to explain and follow this the same content on the screen. So, en revenant dans les groupes de verbes, en français, il y a trois groupes. Comment les identifier? Le premier groupe se termine par ER. Le deuxième groupe se termine par IR. Et le troisième groupe, s'il ne fait pas partie de ER ou IR, donc c'est un groupe en troisième catégorie. Okay, I'll repeat. The first, how to identify the category of verbs. The first group ends with ER, second group ends with IR, and when now when it comes to third group, when these both are not when the verb are not in these both categories, then it is a group of third group. It falls under a category of third group.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, I have one question from here about the third group. Do we have any cases like it ends with ER or IR, but it is still the verb of the third group, or is it not the case? Is it possible that it follows like the rule of the first or second group, but it's like the third group verb?
Yeah, sure. What's your name?
My name is Tortvidas.
That is Tortvidas, that is a very good question because third group verbs in French are the most toughest. It is they are not easy at all. So if you see my screen, the third group are again divided into many subcategories. Like if you see here, these are ending with IR. But if we follow this formula, it looks like that verb is a second group verb because it ends with IR. Okay, but it is not. So these type of verbs are third group verbs. Verb which ends with OIR are third group verbs. Same thing with this type of ending. And it has like, inter group are the most toughest, and the like all are irregular. So irregular means they are not following a specific pattern when it comes to conjugation. So today, taught with us, we are going to cover mostly first group and second group. Okay, if time permits, we will cover third group as well. All right. So I'll just come back on the initial identification of verb. So guys, maybe a question from my side. Comment identifier les verbes du premier groupe?
Il faut voir la terminaison ER, si ça termine par ER, c'est-à-dire que le verbe de la première groupe.
Oui, c'est vrai, vous avez raison, oui. Et maintenant, comment identifier les verbes du second groupe, du deuxième groupe?
The terminations a,
with IR. In English would be IR.
IR.
Right.
I didn't realize it, but this thing brought out something very important. In the second group, the base changes between the singular and the plural. I always thought second group was just determined by, the IR, but what it says there, one for the singular and for the second one for the plural. Finir, fin, and then finissant. Where the first group, the stem is all the same. I never knew that. Never knew that.
Yes, ma'am. We'll come slowly to that that part. First of all, this is one of the root form of identifying the verbs. Once you know how to identify the verbs, then we will try to find the stem and then add the ending according to the subject. So that is the next part. OK, so guys, est-ce que vous avez des questions concernant les trois catégories du groupe? Concernant le troisième groupe, c'est une question, c'est un topic, c'est-à-dire c'est un sujet assez compliqué. Donc, on va le faire peut-être avec après 30 minutes. On va prendre encore 30 minutes de plus après. All right. So I was telling the third group is the most complicated in French. So we'll cover those after the first group and second group. All right. So now let's get ahead. Now, when it comes to a conjugation, I'll show you 1 second. If you see my screen, I'm opening a Chrome browser and I'm going to the internet. Yeah. So guys, this one is one of my favorite sites when it comes to tensing a verb. All right. Est-ce que quelqu'un peut me donner un verbe, s'il vous plaît? N'importe quel verbe. Can someone give me a verb?
Aller.
Okay. So you just have to type it here. Vous devez juste. My net is little bit slower, so yeah. So once you type it and click on this button, conjuguer, ce site va vous donner tous les conjugaisons possibles en langue française. C'est-à-dire, il y a le présent, il y a le passé composé, il y a l'imparfait, et ainsi de suite. As you can see, there are many tenses in French. All right, that is I would say the bad news. But the good news is only few of them are used in our daily based language. So it is not compulsory to learn all of them unless and until you want to write some essay or maybe express go to the French literature. Then that is another story. But as of now, that is all the French tense we have, and we are going to cover all of them in this series. All right. So now, once we identify, our first step is identify the verb group. All right. So here we have first group, we have second group, and we have third group. Yeah. So this one is ends with er. This one ends with ir. Sorry. And when it's not with er or ir, then they are part of third group. Typo mistake. Yeah. All right. Next is like, you know, we are going to conjugate it depending on the tense. So tell me one, yeah, before like, you know, we are going to conjugate, we have to identify the stem or the radical or the root of the verb. This is not so complicated. So second, identify radical of the verb. Ok. La deuxième partie, c'est que normalement, premièrement, on a déjà identifié dans quel groupe le verbe fait partie. Le premier, deuxième ou troisième. En deuxième partie, on doit trouver le radical du verbe. C'est-à-dire, comment faire? Il faut juste... Est-ce que quelqu'un peut me donner un verbe, s'il vous plaît, avec ER?
So I think the first example, Ale, does not really match for us because I think it's third group. So I can try to give of the first group, it would be parler, to speak.
Parler. Yeah, exactly. Very nice, yeah. So maybe chanter. Can someone help me? Manger. Danser.
Danser.
Okay. Jouer. All right. Okay. So we have, guys, five verbs here. So these verbs are part of which group?
La première.
First.
Le premier groupe. Yeah. So tous ces verbes font partie du premier groupe parce que leur terminaison est avec ER. Okay. Now, find the stem is like, you know, you just have to remove the ER. All right. So that is the stem of this verb. Because these group are part of the these verb are part of the first group, that's why I removed ER. So similarly, let's say these are first group verb. Okay. Similarly, par exemple là on va parler du du deuxième groupe. Ok. Par exemple finir. Choisir. Okay, so guys, these are part of the second group. So to find the stem or the radical or the root of this verb, you just have to remove the IR. So far, is it clear?
Oui.
Ok. Les amis, est-ce que c'est clair ou bien est-ce que vous avez des questions?
C'est clair.
All right, ok. D'accord. Maintenant, la première partie, c'est qu'on a identifié les catégories de verbes. Deuxième partie, on a trouvé le radical ou bien les racines du verbe. Ok. Maintenant, la troisième partie, c'est la partie de la conjugation. Ok. Third one is tense the verb. Okay, or I mean I would say conjugate the verb. All right. So
Excuse
today,
me.
yeah.
Excuse me. I can't see where you're typing because there's a waiting notification covering it up. Mr. Havizuddin appears to be a guest.
All right. I'm admitting him. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Yeah. So
Merci.
you should. Okay, merci, monsieur. Yeah. So now conjugate the verb. So today our topic is like the present tense. All right. So guys, when you use a present tense in all language, not only for French, but like for example, I speak in this event, or I brush my teeth, or
So when
I
you're
go
doing it, when you're doing it at that time.
All right. Okay. Any other answer?
When doing something usually.
Right. That's right. That's correct. Yeah.
Like a
Any?
habit.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think all your answer are correct, and thank you for that. So like the present tense is used to show a habit or generalization. Like for example, I in the morning I take my breakfast at 7 a.m. All right. So tous les matins je prends je prends mon petit déjeuner à 7 heures du matin. Le soir je me couche à 22 heures. Nous prenons le dîner à 20 heures. J'adore nager. Je joue beaucoup au basketball. So those are like, I'm using while speaking, I'm using the present tense, be it in English or be it in French. So I like, I use present tense mostly to show a habit or to show a generalization. All right. So when it comes to a present tense, we are going to conjugate it now. So a sentence is made of subject plus verb plus object. All right. So subject can be je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle in plural. So my first question to you guys, everyone is familiar with this pattern? This is like, French grammar pattern. So like, I would like to emphasize in this before we continue. Je is in English, it would be I. Tu is you in an informal way. All right. Il is he. Elle is she. Nous is we. Vous is you again, but in a more polite way. And il is when it comes to plural, masculine, and elle is when it comes to plural, feminine. So 1 second. Yeah. Oh, there are someone are waiting. Yeah. So in any question in this, guys?
No.
Non? Est-ce que, les amis, est-ce que c'est clair?
Oui.
Okay. If I say, okay. Marie like to watch movie. Okay. I can, here I'm assuming Mary is a lady. All right. So I can translate this as in she likes to watch movie. Everyone agrees on this, right?
Oui.
Yes.
Okay.
Oui.
All right. Okay. For example, sorry, can you pronounce your name again? Thought with
us.
Thought with us. Yeah.
You can pronounce it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thought with us. Love French language. All right. So he loves French language. All right. Next, for example, Marie and taught with us learn French language. So they learn French language.
She went to do courses and such like. I'm doing a French class at the moment.
Sorry, can you mute at your end, please? So, all right, thank you very much. Here. So here, they learn, like, the sentence was Marie and taught with us learn French language. So here, I wrote instead of Marie and taught with us, they learn French language. It is the same meaning. All right. So is this clear?
Oui.
Yes, oui.
All right. Yeah. So, as I said above, these are the subject. Just so for a quick recap, sentence is in French language. The sentence structure, the basic sentence structure is a subject plus verb plus object. All right. So these are the subjects. Now we are going to take all these verbs: parler, chanter, manger, danser, jouer. All right. So let's say parler, chanter, manger, danser, jouer, maybe marcher. Marcher is to walk. All right. So guys, which groups verbs are those?
First.
First group. All right. First group. Premier groupe, oui. Premier groupe, yeah. Donc, nous avons ici tous ces verbes que nous sommes en train de voir en ce moment, ce sont des verbes du premier groupe. OK? Maintenant, on va les conjuguer au temps présent. Conjugate in the present tense. In French, of course. All right? So, first of all, what we have to do is remove the, find the stem. Or find the root of that verb. All right. So to find the root of that verb, what is the formula, guys?
Take away the
remove ER.
All right. Yeah. All right. So the formula is to remove the ER. So I'll remove. All right. So now we sorry, excuse me. We have removed the ending of that first group verb, and we are the root of this verb. All right. Next is depending on the subject, we will have to add the ending to the stem. That means we will have to append. So when it comes to je parle, the ending which goes with je, it's e. The ending which goes with tu, it's es. The ending which goes with il and l is e, ons, ez, ent. Okay. So three things you have to remember. First of all, identify the group of the verb. Whether, premièrement, il y a trois choses à retenir. La première, c'est identifier les groupes de verbes, c'est-à-dire c'est soit le premier groupe, soit le deuxième, soit le troisième. Dans cet exemple que je suis en train de vous montrer, tous les verbes sont du premier groupe. Parler, chanter, manger, danser, jouer et marcher. OK? La deuxième chose que vous devez faire, c'est de trouver le radical ou la racine du verbe. C'est-à-dire, quand il y a le verbe du premier groupe, il faudra enlever le ER. All right? Et si c'est le verbe du deuxième groupe, il faudra enlever le IR. Parce que le deuxième groupe se termine par IR, donc il faudra enlever le IR pour trouver la racine de ce verbe-là. Ensuite, troisièmement, comme on est en train de conjuguer ce verbe au présent, la grammaire, la règle française de la grammaire pour le temps présent, c'est d'ajouter le E à la racine du verbe. That means you have to append the ending to the stem according to the subject. So when it comes to je, it goes with E. When it comes to tu, it goes with ES. When it comes to il, elle, it ends with E. When it comes to nous, it ends with ONS. When it comes to with vous, it comes with EZ. And when it comes to il, elle, it ends with ENT. So at the end of the day, for present tense, you just have to remember all these endings.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
With manger, when you come to we eat, you leave the E on for it's mangeant, isn't it? It's not just ONS.
Yes. So what's your name, ma'am?
Ernestine.
Ernestine, yeah.
Ernestine.
Ernestine, I would say, yeah, sure. So 95% in the first group verbs follow the, I would say 98% of all the verbs in the first group follows a similar pattern. There are some exceptions like manger or maybe aller. All right. So you are right. So when we write,
I think in this case, why it adds I after G is because in Roman languages, if G is followed by O, it would become G sound, not J.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
In order to remain it like G, we have to add like I after it. I think so.
Yeah.
E after it.
Yeah. So while creating this type of rule, the French people also, as Taught with us has told, the French people also have considered the pronunciation because the pronunciation is different. For example, Taught with us, we read as it is written. But in French, it is not always the case. This was a great point from Taught with us. So, for example, I'll go back to my example. So as of now, we have conjugated all these verbs in present tense. All right. So now, if I'll go back to this site, which shows us also the similar things. So for example, parler, I'll say conjugué. So it will show you the similar thing, like it says like le verbe parler du premier groupe. OK. Le verbe parler se conjugue avec l'auxiliaire avoir. This is going to happen when we'll cover the passé composé in our next session. All right. So here, as you can see, they have not described how they came to this, but as you can see with the color, like when it comes to je, it ends with e. When it comes with tu, it ends with es. Avec il, ça se termine avec e. Avec nous, ça se termine avec ons. Et avec vous, ça se termine avec e. Avec EZ, et avec il ou elle, ça se termine avec INT. Okay. Now, maybe similar, for example, Marie est taught with us. So, ça c'est un exemple d'une phrase que vous devez conjuguer. So, en ce moment, j'ai écrit Marie et Todd with us marcher ensemble. Grammatically, it's wrong. Okay, so you have guys to conjugate this in a French present tense. So, what should be the answer?
ENT.
All right. why ENT?
Because it's they.
Because
Third
it's plural.
person, plural.
Because it's plural. Yeah, yeah,
Plural.
yeah. Right. Yeah. Now. Okay. No, sorry, my mistake. I'm confusing between. Yeah.
Shouldn't be an R, should they, at the end?
All right. So what should be a?
Just without the R.
Yeah.
Without the adore.
Oh,
Without
okay.
the R.
So adore refresh. All right. Okay. So in this case,
without the R.
all right. Great. Next is
Chanton.
Okay.
Nous chantons à l'église.
Chanton. Chantons à l'église. Chanton.
Talk with us in present tense, please.
Chanton.
Nous chantons.
Very good. Yeah, the one you said was in future tense, but that is like, you know, or maybe one of our next session, future session, I would say. Nous chantons à l'église. Everyone clear with all these? Vous visitez.
Visiter.
À Paris.
Yeah.
À Paris.
So visit.
Okay.
Maybe I can say visiter Paris, or maybe we'll invert in interrogative sentence.
Yeah, so the pronunciation will be the same, just Z
With
in the end.
All right. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Vous visitez Paris. And L sorry.
That
would have been fine.
Parlons.
Parle. The pronunciation. The pronunciation. While writing, it will be ENT. And while speaking, les femmes parlent beaucoup.
Parle beaucoup. Okay.
All right. So, guys, is this clear?
Oui.
Les amis, est-ce que c'est clair?
Oui, c'est clair.
Oui.
Okay. So, this was the first group. All right. So, I'll just indent it. Yeah. Yes.
Kyle?
Yeah.
Соверши. Соверши.
Second group.
All right. In French. So again, I'll start with the subject. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Same pattern. Okay. Can someone give me some second group verb? Choisir.
Choisir.
Sorry. Choisir, yeah. Or maybe.
Finir.
Maybe mentir, to lie, mentir.
Mentir, je mentis, tu mentis, ils mentiront. No, it is partir will be in third group. Second group French verbs. So
Dormir.
list of school. Google help. Okay, we'll get some list of second group verbs from Google. My net is my page is loading. So mentir would be, I think so, in the third group, guys. So yeah, which one?
Okay, thank you.
Grandir.
Sorry?
Grandir.
Grandir. Grandir.
And grosser. Grosser.
Spelling? Can you spell it out?
Gross.
Grossier. Okay, 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 okay. Blush, rougir. Rougir.
And rôtir.
Okay.
And rôtir to roast. Rôtir. R-O-T-I-R.
Okay, all right, yeah. So guys, we have 6 verbs here, which are all from the second group. All right. So here the twist is like, there are many third group words with ends with ir. So the point which was raised by Totvidas. All right. So if time permits, we'll cover the third group verbs. Otherwise, we'll we'll try to cover it in the next session. But we'll do it. We'll now do for the second group. So to now tense the second group, what as we have identified the verbs, what is the next steps, guy?
Knock off the find the root. Find the root.
Find the root. All right. So to find the stem or the root, we just have to remove the I. All right. Yeah. Next steps is
add the endings.
Append the endings to the root or to the stem. Okay. So if you want to make it by heart, is is, it, issons, issez, issent. So I'll finish is, it, issons, issez, and issent. Okay. Je finis, tu choisis, elle grandit, nous grossissons, vous rougissez, elles rôtissent. All right. So let's have some exercise. I'll take obéir. Okay. Les enfants. Obéir aux parents. Okay. Can anyone try this?
Obéir is sans. Get rid of the E. Yeah.
Obéis aux parents.
Obese.
Okay. Next one, let's take le pape François bénir les religieux. Okay.
Denis.
Okay.
Denis.
Spelling, please.
B-E-N-I-T.
Very good. All right. Totvidas, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I mean, everyone is for. Est-ce que c'est clair?
Oui.
I think maybe it's worth mentioning that, like, I think it should be unclear for those who just started learning that, like, the third person of plural, like, it's really exceptional reading, and E and T is not pronounced. It's like silent E and T at the end.
Yes, yeah. So when I I usually I love to teach as well, and usually Indian people, what I have seen in India, students, for example, when they say El Marchand, so they have a tendency of pronouncing the this one Marchand. For example, El or Il rôtissant. So the ideally, I mean, as per the French pronunciation, it is El Marche, El Rotis. Okay, but while when you are learning, and can start getting these type of verbs and vocabularies. So maybe sometimes you have you have the tendency of pronouncing the endings, which could be maybe in your mother tongue, because for example in India, like India is a very big country, and there are almost, I would say, minimum 1,000 language which are only spoken in India. So depending on their mother tongue, they have that habit of pronouncing the ending of that specific word. So as Totvidas said, in French it is not always when it comes to il or l, it's not always the ending are not always pronounced.
No.
Oui. Okay. Another. Let's say.
Dormir.
Sorry.
Dormir. Dormir.
Dormir. Dormir.
Yes.
Ma'am, dormir is a third group verbs.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It does not follow this pattern. So dormir is third group verb. Sherir. Can someone try?
What's cherir?
Cherir is to cherish.
Cherish.
Okay, spelling? Because it's a third. CIT.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
last one. Let's say.
Malgre.
Maigrir. Okay. No. All right. So
Yeah.
can you give a try?
Okay. Malgrérison.
Oh, yeah. What I did is I removed the IR and replaced with the ending.
Oui.
Okay.
Oui.
Sorry, excuse me.
Brunier.
You need, yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, can you just give a try with this?
Reunis. Yeah,
Reunis.
Reunis.
Okay. Yeah. And the last one.
Brunier.
Ralentir.
Sorry?
Ralentir.
Ralentir, yeah. Oh. Here.
Is that to slow down?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I mean in French. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I believe it's. My book shows it's RALENTIR. Maybe it's a different word that you're talking about, but to slow down.
You mean the spelling mistake? All right. Yeah. My mistake, typo mistake. Yeah. Right.
No problem. Ralenti. Wait. Ralenties.
Ralentissez.
Yeah. Tisse.
Yeah. Because I'm using a vous here.
Yeah.
So depending on the subject, the ending will take place.
Yeah, I just can't pronounce it.
Yeah, vous ralent. Ma'am, when it comes to a long word like this, so you can virtually cut in your mind. Okay. So vous ralentissez trop.
Ralentissez trop.
Yeah. So it happens when we find a new words and it's lengthy words. So you can cut using vowels, you can and consonant, you can cut it and write out.
Yeah.
All right.
Take two
So
bunny D.
yeah. So yeah. So at the end of the day, for first group verbs, you just have to remember these ending: E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT. Okay. Second group verb for IR in present tense. Okay. We'll have to remember IS, IS, IT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, ISSENT. All right. Now, it's already almost like, almost 1 hour. So
Wait.
we are, because third group verb will take almost an hour or 45 minutes to an hour. Because as you can see, like, third group verbs are again, les verbes du troisième groupe sont divisés en mini sous-catégories. C'est-à-dire, là, il y a des verbes qui se terminent par IR, mais ils font partie du troisième groupe. Par exemple, dormir, partir. OK? Il y a des verbes qui se terminent par OIR, mais par exemple, voir, ça, c'est des groupes du troisième groupe. Et il y a aussi ce genre de verbe, c'est-à-dire, ils s'appellent des verbes cocos. These are like, third group verb, but their conjugation rule follows the first group. So, mastering the third groups are the most challenging one, because why challenging? Because they don't have a set of specific rule to follow. All right, but once you identify, once you follow, I mean, like, this is my book, but you can also find the same grammar note maybe in Google as well. So once you follow these pattern, you'll be able to learn all of them. Okay, so other irregular verbs also, guys, if you see these thought vidas, maybe you don't say, but this verb looks, which type of verb this looks, which category should fall?
It looks like the first group.
Exactly, yeah. But it's not, yeah. That's why I've kept it in the third group verbs, because all these verbs which are under irregular one are all third groups one. And as you can see, their endings are all different, because this one is ale. And if you would have followed this rule, EES, EONS, EZ, ENT, it would have been like, same thing, but it is not. Yeah. So one good news is, like, the third group verbs are are almost in French language not used. They are there in the French language, but they are called part of dead conjugation, because nowadays with the the new words which is coming in French language, the people who are, like, in literature, they prefer to create group verbs based on first group and second group, not always on third group. Yeah. So right now the I mean, in this event, the takeaway should be, you saw how to master, how to conjugate the verb on first group and second group. First group ends with ER and second group ends with IR. Okay. When we are going to conjugate it in a present tense, you just have to find the stem or the radical or the root, and then append the ending accordingly.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So all these three steps, easy steps, you just have to remember. All right.
Okay.
So maybe our next session would be like, on present tense third group, and then we will continue with the other type of conjugation.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Can you scroll back to the page that talked about COCOS so I can do a screen print?
So which one, ma'am?
Go up a little further.
All right. The COCOS verb, yeah.
Yes, I wanna. Okay, hold on. Let me just get a.
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead. Yeah. So, yeah.
Why are they called cocos?
That's a good question. I'm not sure why they are
Okay.
from where that terminology had come, but like that is one of the famous word which is used in the grammar terminology.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Merci.
Okay.
Et à bientôt.
Merci.
Là, j'ai une question encore. Est-ce que je peux poser la question?
Oui, Totvidas, allez-y, oui.
Ouais, juste pour demander si vous organisez les cours plus compliqués sur Duolingo, plus complexes que ce niveau.
Totvidas, quel genre de cours vous voulez? Par
exemple, le cours d'utilisation de subjonctifs, peut-être parce que c'est plus compliqué.
Peut-être que je pourrais vous aider. Est-ce que c'est urgent ou bien vous pouvez attendre?
Non, je peux attendre. Juste, je demandais si vous organisez. Si oui, je voudrais bien faire le parti avec vous.
Oui, bien sûr, Totvidas, parce que je vais essayer de vous montrer. Là, c'est en ce moment, on est au temps présent.
Oui, voilà, je vois
que...
à la fin, nous avons le planning de subjonctifs.
Oui, mais je pense qu'au cas où s'il y a plusieurs étudiants ou bien plusieurs participants qui veulent organiser un cours de subjonctif, on pourra le faire. Par exemple, peut-être...
je peux attendre quand même.
Oui, peut-être le mois prochain, s'il vous plaît, Totvidas.
Ouais, très bien.
Ok.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Est-ce que vous avez d'autres questions, les amis?
Non, merci beaucoup.
Merci. Bye.
À bientôt.
Merci, bon courage.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Mr. David. Goodbye, Arlene. Goodbye, Lisa. Bye.
Bye.